Guys, thanks for clicking on another one of my videos. Today I'm going to break down the DNF Duel tier list in as little time as possible. Thank you for clicking, and let's get right into it. This is Sly Sleepyfo. Alright, we're going to start off with Lost Warrior. This character has 1000 HP, which is in the upper tier of health. You'll get a lot of mistakes to make with this character. His fastest move is his 5A at 10 frames, which is horrible. For an A move, this is really bad. Most of his normals are safe, but will result in the end of his turn, so just be careful there. He has linear attack patterns and pressure. It's kind of hard to surprise folks with this character. I implore you to try. 6MS, 5S, and JS are amazing projectiles, some of the best in the game. This character struggles to guard break, has no true DP invincible reversal. His parry starts on frame 3. He has okay mobility. Time stop is a win condition, but his awakening is, in my opinion, useless when you compare it to the rest of the cast. Alright, so next up we have Launcher here, a pretty decent zoner, kind of low health in that it's 900 HP for her. She has really good keep away, really good pushback, and really good corner carry on her combos. The name of the game with this character is chip damage. She does amazing chip damage, the best chip damage in the game, and then when she is put in awakening, she does even greater chip damage. Only thing is, she consumes MP like no other, 50 MP or more per MP skill. Her DP and vulnerable reversal is kind of exploitable in that it can be crossed up with its poor range. 5AA is an amazing button, probably her only button in neutral really. She has really bad lows, a slide that's kind of slow, and her 2A that's a little on the shorter side. Her defense is pretty poor, and she has low mobility. She has a really good long range guard cancel, even if it is kind of slow coming out. But yeah, that's it for this zoner. She's okay. She's pretty good. Alrighty, next up we got Vanguard. So Vanguard comes in at 1000 HP, which is pretty good for most characters. He has great screen control with his huge buttons, great safe pressure. Most of the stuff you're going to be doing is going to lead to more of his turn, more safety. He does heavy damage to the guard bar, leading to guard break mix-ups. His awakening even increases the damage to the guard bar. His normals really can't cancel into skills, and he has a huge weakness to whiffing. If you whiff with this character, 9 times out of 10 you'll be heavily punished for big damage. He has weak defense in that his invulnerable DP whiffs on crouchers and is kind of like short ranged. His buttons are really slow, his fastest button being 2A, which is 7 frames, and has a super low range. He has no mobility at all. He loses to projectile zoners. He's low on approach options, but he is hard to jump in on. He has linear repetitive patterns, but he blows up guard cancels and does pretty good damage. This character is an all-around decent character, however he is kind of slow. Alright, next up is Inquisitor. She's tied for the lowest health in the game at 850 HP, but she does have some of the better mix in the game. She can do high-lows, she can do strike throw, and she can also do left-right. So she has every pretty much mix that you can think of. She loses heavily to zoners, and her MP skills do have high cost, but they reward her great pressure. She has really good damage, decent range, decent jumping normals. A little bit slower on the startup for her moves. She's a slow brawler. 2A is her fastest at 7 frames. Decent mobility, like I was saying, especially if you utilize 6S. She has the best reversal in the game. Guarantees her ulti, guarantees her a setup. Good set play from this character all around. That's Inquisitor. Alright, so next up we got Crusader. He has some of the best health and defense stats in the game. This character can cure himself of his own debuffs. He can remove the enemy's ability to jump. He's the best anti-zoner in the game. His awakening mitigates damage and increases white health recovery by 300%, I believe. He has some of the best zoning and range in the game. His buttons are absolutely gigantic. The only thing is he has terrible block strings. He can only really cancel 1 or 2 normals into a special cancel. He has probably one of the worst mobilities in the game. He has an invincible DP and a counter. Only thing is, his invulnerable 2M can be thrown in early frames. 6M beats rolls, and he can even grant himself super armor. This character is a monster. You don't know what you're doing against him. Alrighty, so next up we got Troubleshooter. He's coming in at 150 health, 1050 health, which isn't bad. He's a great all-around character and can even access his own white health with 4S, giving him conversion and boosted damage. He does have extremely high damage, especially in Awakening. His traps must be respected in 4 MS. He gets great Oki and great neutral control off of that. He does have safe pressure if you can space out his grenade well enough and you're good at that. He does have bad mobility, but what he lacks in mobility and speed he makes up for his range. This character loses to specialist characters in the area that they specialize in, but other than that, he's pretty good. He has okay normals, great all-around character, great beginner-friendly character. Okay, so next up we have Enchantress coming in at 850 HP, which is also tied for the lowest health in the game. She has great speed on her normals, which you wouldn't expect coming from this character. Great range on her normals, good projectiles, great puppet pressure. She's also a smaller character, so her hitbox can kind of like, avoid certain moves or be harder to hit. She has a slower roll than most of the cast. Everyone else in the cast has 27 frame roll. She has a 29 frame. Her MP consumption is high, especially when you're activating 5 MS, but her Awakening kind of diminishes that consumption, which she will get into Awakening faster than most. Her reversal pulls opponents towards the teddy bear mad. She can drain enemies of their MP, but she's vulnerable while she's using Showtime, and she also loses access to her DP while Showtime is active, but that's Enchantress. Alright, next up we got the Grappler. Grappler coming in at 1050 HP. He hits like an absolute fucking freight train. Usually he's a 2-touch character, 2 touches to win that is. His pressure is pretty good. He has a great strike throw mix in that he has about 4 different throws that he has access to. He eats up guard cancels for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Only thing is he's extremely slow. His normals are stubby. He has no invincible DP, and his approach is extremely linear, aka predictable. He has super armor on most of his skills, and his counter loses to throws and grabs, so his defense is kind of weak. His air 5M can grab grounded opponents as well as backdashes and jumpers. He has some of the better anti-airs in the game, but that's Grappler. Okay, so next up we have Kunoichi coming in at 900 HP. She has the amazing projectile game in her kunais. She has a good double jump, a teleport that can go in front or behind depending on if she has stigma, and she's extremely fast. Her pressure is only okay because it loses to mashing or invulnerable reversals. Her frame data is some of the best in the game. Starts at she has a 6 frame 5A and a 5 frame 2A. Pretty much uncontestable by most of the cast. Only thing is her normals are very poor in the range department. Burning Stigma has to be respected and can set up Oki and pressure for her, and she can control the screen with the Toad Bomb and the Flame Tornado. This character is pretty good. Alrighty, so next up we have Striker coming in at 900 HP. She has access to reverse speed and can cancel pretty much any move that she presses. She has a great dive kick and it easily leads into pressure. She can easily threaten guard break scenarios, and she has great advancing normals and amazing speed. Most of her combos will carry wall to wall. She does great damage and has good Oki. She has some of the best frame data in the game. 5 frame 5A and a 6 frame 2A. Her frame data is really only contestable by 3 or so characters in the cast. She's extremely safe on block, and her pressure usually doesn't end until either she runs out of mana or you guard cancels. She has a projectile invulnerable 6, and this character is a powerhouse. Alrighty, so next up we have Ghostblade coming in at 900 HP, which is about average. The name of the game with this character is fast and long disjointed hitboxes. His grounded normals and aerial normals are some of the best in the game, and his long disjoints allow him to counter hit opponents without having to trade with them. His good frame data, better than the people with longer range than him, about even with the people with similar range with him. He has some good projectiles and good mobility in his teleports. He has safe jump Oki and good mix-up. The only thing about, and he has a good corner carry. Some of the best damage in the game off of 2A and other normals. The only poor part of this character's overall game plan is the fact that he has no invulnerable reversals, leaving this defense is sort of weak. But other than that, pretty great character. Alrighty, next up we have the Ranger. He has some of the most immaculate keep away game in the entire game. His health is 950 HP, so slightly above average. He has great screen control, good Oki, good pressure, especially if you use his grenade, a decent mix-up, and his awakening debuffs are actually pretty useful, so you're going to want to make the most out of awakening. He has amazing guard crush potential, and that's where he gets a lot of his mix from, is the conversion 6ms, I believe, is him throwing out the guns. And he can side switch whenever he wants, as long as he has conversion to make it safe. Yeah, this character is good. You know, his awakening skill can blow up jumpers. If you decide to jump on him when he has awakening, he can kind of get you for free. You know, straightforward, great zoner, great for beginners, great range. You know, great character all around. Alrighty, to round up the top of A tier, we have Berserker. He has some pretty long range, beefy normals, especially in Frenzy. He has some of the best anti-airs in the game, especially with Frenzy 5ms. And he eats guard cancels and chews up the guard bar for breakfast. Only thing about this character is he's extremely slow, has no mobility options whatsoever, loses heavily to zoners and corner pressure. His DP is very linear, but at least he has one. Its range is piss poor, so there's a lot of setups you can do against this character. The corner, his defense is slightly weaker than other characters with invulnerable DPs. But besides that, if you're able to play a good game, then Berserker's for you. Alrighty, so starting off on A+ tier, we got Hitman here. And Hitman has an amazing passive which allows him to cancel any MP skill into an invulnerable MP skill, full screen as well. He has a conversionless instant overhead and also an MP-less instant overhead that he has access to. He loses to range fighters pretty hard, but his shattering strike is good, that awakening skill. He's good at the mid-range. He has decent damage outside of awakening and even greater damage inside of awakening. Only thing is his MP consumption is a little heavy. He has okay speed but low mobility in general. This character is pretty good, especially in awakening. Alrighty, next up is, here's a shocker, Swift Master. Comes in at 850 HP, which is TODable. He has the best ground movement speed in the game. He can also control the enemy's movement with his 4S and his 6MS. You know, he can dash while 6M is active, so it gives him a little bit of mobility on top of that. He has really good continuous safe pressure and decent Oki. He has some of the best frame data in the game with a 7 frame 5A, 6 frame 2A, and a 9 frame 5B. This character is extremely brittle, but his DP does drag you into him, making up for the range and the recovery frames. And his held 5S acts as a physical hit property, which can be parried. But yeah, this character is really good. He's just not as good as Dragon Master, IMO. Okay, last up we have Dragon Knight, being the top of A+ tier. This character has everything that you need with zero to little weaknesses. She comes in at 900 HP, which is kind of low. She has great puppet pressure in Astra. Heavy Astra is invincible, meaning once she starts spinning, you can't counter hit or stop her from doing that, which sets up her other pressure. She has great air mobility and really good run speed. She has amazing mix. She can do conversionless instant overheads. She has some of the best combo damage in the game off of 2A, 5A. She has, maybe you can say she has stubby normals and her MP consumption is heavy outside of Awakening, but she has the best frame data in the game. 6 frame 5A, 8 frame 5B, 5 frame 2A, and 13 frame 2B. Most of her normals are safe on block. She has great stagger pressure, has good safe jump setups, has tools for everything. JS is one of the best projectiles in the game, and she has the biggest hitbox on her DP, I believe. Just basically the best all-around character in the game. If you want to make sure you're playing a good character, play Dragonite. So that's the end of the tier list. I had fun making this, probably took a little bit too long. But anyways, if you feel like I missed something or if something wasn't included that you feel like should be, let me know. If there's anything I can do better, or if you just want to let me know how much you enjoyed the video. Click the link that's coming up on the next little screen here to watch my series of my ranked matches from Terra Knight to Deity level, and I'll be back with more. Peace.